The following shows how the government can massively underestimate the power of the people, and how also the people can be crafty little gremlins. Let's go through the gin acts, shall we? And how they either didn't work or were just dumb. Act the first was trying to reduce gin sales by raising duty on sales and increasing retail fees. The problem was a major flaw in how they described gin as a spirit containing, quote, juniper berries or other fruit, spices, or ingredients. So, people circumvented this by simply not adding any of those things. This substance basically would, akin to early vodka, became known as parliamentary brandy, and the only people who suffered were the legitimate distillers, whereas the gin black market boomed. This act was repealed 4 years later when they realised it was doing the total opposite of its intended purpose. And so, in 1733, we have Act 2. This law sought for the end of all street hawkers and selling of gin on the street. Predictably, this just resulted in thousands of houses suddenly being repurposed into gin shops. This act relied on informers and snitches to enforce, and as we all know from many an American prison drama, snitches get stitches. But because we are British, it took us a while to get really indignant about them. In 1734, we have the Judith Dufour incident that I spoke about in my Mother's Ruin video a couple of months ago. This led way to the next Gin Act in 1736, which put incredibly high taxes and purchase amounts on gin, effectively almost outlawing it for most legal producers, driving the gin trade even further underground, especially into the East End of London, where criminal gangs and prostitution became rife in these gin houses. The Fourth Act in 1737 started giving rewards for informants of even the pettiest gin-related crimes. Thousands of Londoners, mostly women, were prosecuted under this act. The Fifth Act came a year after this. I mean, by this point we as a nation had become rather bored with snitches, and barely a day went by without an informer being attacked or killed, sometimes by mobs of hundreds of people. Magistrates read the Riot Act to them, and they were just ignored as rebels then attacked both officials and informers alike. So this act basically outlawed gin almost entirely, and made it a felony to attack an informer. It also gave the general public the power to arrest illegal distillers. As you can imagine, this caused utter chaos, and resulted in the truly genius workaround that I will talk about next time. Cheers.